Hi, Steve and Caleb from Brownells here, back with another episode of Smith Busters. Caleb, what do you got?
So I thought we already did this one, Steve, and that is my mistake. We actually did it already as a quick tip, but I figured we should do it as a Smith Buster.
Nice.
So this is it okay to dry fire your firearm?
Oh boy, never, right?
This is a loaded topic.
Yeah. The myth is it's never okay.
You should not dry fire any firearm ever for any reason, for anybody, for any reason, to anyone, for any reason. But no, it obviously I shouldn't say obviously, because if it was obvious, we wouldn't be doing this. But
Right.
It all depends on the gun.
It does, and the manufacturer's recommendations.
You know, there's a lot of manufacturers that recommend a lot of things. And I've seen a lot of, there's a lot of owner manuals that recommend not doing it,
True.
that it's really okay to, honestly.
Well, a lot of times.
A lot of times. But I'm not going to say do it when the manufacturer says don't do it. Don't get it twisted. I'll say that, because don't go breaking something and then say Caleb from Brownells said do it. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm going to tell you right now, pump the brakes. Steve, take it away.
So, on a lot of older guns, soft metal in the barrel, long firing pin with no restriction on travel sometimes,
Yeah.
they will batter the heck out of the chamber if you dry fire it without a cartridge in place or at least an empty case.
You just described every old rimfire gun.
Just about.
Yeah.
Just about. And rimfires are where a lot of the problem lies. For dry firing, a lot of them shouldn't be dry fired. This old Smith Wesson here, not recommended to dry fire, and I never do. Smith Wesson Centerfire, you can dry fire all you want, although with the hammer nose models, I tend not to a whole lot, but this is a MIM gun. We're empty there. No firing pin nose up here, so click away all you like.
Yeah, and I'll link in the description the quick tip that we did. There's probably at least one thing in there we're not going to cover here, and vice versa. But yeah, and whenever it comes to those old 22s, what happens is on a rimfire gun, it's just that it's a rim fire. That firing pin is designed to hit the rim of the cartridge versus the center of the cartridge, or the center of the primer, I should say. So it's going to strike the edge, which means if there's no primer there, so if the chamber's empty and there's nothing for it to hit, it's going to hit the edge of the chamber versus just the center of the empty chamber. So, let's take a look at, a Centerfire, for example. Here I have a couple of handguns, Centerfire handguns. This is we're empty there. This is a Polymer 80, a Gucci'd out.
Glock clone.
Yeah, Glock clone, Gucci'd out Glock clone. And this is something we can dry fire these all day.
I think most striker fired guns, the modern polymer guns,
Yeah.
I don't know of too many that you can't dry fire all you like, really.
And there's some imported stuff that I probably wouldn't, just because there's some weird metallurgy there and it really has nothing to do with the firing pin and stuff like that. It's just the parts are
Right.
gross. There's some gross parts in those guns.
Well, and the parts are hard to come by for some guns.
Parts are hard to come
But
by.
if you got a Glock, parts are all over the place, and the pin's not going to break anyway, odds are.
Yeah. So if it's depending on the quality of the gun, if it's any of your mainstream manufacturer guns, do it all day long. You can sit in front of your TV and quick draw. Just don't blow a hole in your TV. Especially if you live in an apartment complex, you might, it's bad news. Just follow your firearm safety rules.
But some firearms manufacturers take this into account. You can dry fire pretty much any Ruger.
Yeah.
That I've ever seen. All the manuals pretty much say you can. Smith Wesson, all their center fires, they say you can, but not the rim fires, whether it's automatic or revolver.
Yeah.
And then it's a mixed bag after that. Henry Repeating Arms, you can dry fire their guns all day long.
Yeah, the Ruger Wrangler, the manual said, I think we checked out a manual, it said do it.
Yeah. Yep.
So
that would fall in line with the rest of the Ruger product line.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, you're good to go there. So we were looking at you came up with this the other day. You were looking online. You said drywall anchors.
Right, number 4-6, number 4 through 6.
Yep.
7/8 long will approximate a 22 cartridge in your chamber, and you can hit that plastic rim on there with your firing pin, no matter what gun you have, and it will protect your chamber mouth.
So then you can dry fire whatever rimfire you want, and
Yeah.
you're good to go. So I don't know when you're watching this video, but right now it's December. It's almost Christmas, so you can sit in front of the TV watching Die Hard and just dry fire at Hans Gruber all day long, and just go to town.
Yep, and there are some manufactured dry fire snap caps, so to speak. I think Lyman makes some, and who else was it?
It was Lyman, and I don't know, Steve. I have no
The
idea.
ones I looked up yesterday that we actually carry, I
Yeah,
can't remember who it was.
Like if you would have asked me this before I mentioned Die Hard, I probably would have remembered. But then I mentioned Die Hard, and then I got my mind got blown because then I remembered that was the guy that played Snape in Harry Potter, and then I started going down that rabbit hole.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah, that was crazy. I can't believe that's the guy that played Snape. I just made that connection recently this year. So then my mind's just been blown ever
And
since.
fun fact, Benedict Cumberbatch does the best Alan Rickman impression you've ever heard.
Benadryl Cumberbund?
Yes.
What?
He sounds exactly like him.
I'm Googling that as soon as this video's over.
So where does that leave us? with the myth?
So it was Lyman, and it was what was the other company?
Carlson's.
Carlson's. It was Carlson's. Yes,
And we carry those.
we do. Yep, we carry the ones from Carlson's, and those last forever. So
Well, they last for hundreds of strikes.
yeah, I shouldn't say forever. Nothing lasts forever. So
If you don't have access to snap caps right away, but you have to do some dry firing, you can take a spent case and rotate it around so the striker hits a fresh spot on the rim each time and do your dry firing. Actually, you can hit it once or twice, 3 times sometimes. Depends on how heavy your hammer hits.
yeah, doesn't last as long, but definitely works in a pinch. So.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna say not busted, but plausible. It depends on the gun, so there you have it.
Right. So you can argue either way, and it depends on what you are dry firing.
Yeah, so to say something like you can't dry fire your SIG 226, you're ridiculous. You can definitely dry fire your SIG 226, but you cannot dry fire your Mossberg 151. So there you go.
Now, if you've ever damaged a gun by dry firing it, let us know in the comments. Or if you have a particular gun that you've dry fired thousands or millions of times and it's just fine, let us know. We'd like to hear from you. In the meantime, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time with another episode of Smith Busters.